Hi everyone, this is Holly from Hot Humble Pie. Today we are doing 5-minute spring and Easter DIYs. And as always, I hope you enjoy the show. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you click that button. For this one, you're just going to grab one of these Dollar Tree bunnies. Right here, they stand up on their own. They're really thick. They are so gorgeous. They're actually gorgeous on their own. You could just glue a flower on their neck, maybe distress it. I would distress it a little bit, of course, but they are so pretty to me just the way they are. But we're going to paint this white because for what I'm going to do, I need the background to be nice and bright. And we are going to paint the front, back, and the sides. Now we're just going to give it a quick blow dry, of course, so we can keep moving. And I'm using a glue stick for this. Now, of course, you can use Mod Podge if you want to and do the ironing trick. I don't have a little iron, but to me that's more work and it's not necessary because a glue stick works and it is perfect for keeping out the wrinkles. But we are going to be gluing on this gorgeous napkin. I got this from Amazon. I will leave the link down below in my description box if you're interested. But this is why I needed it white, by the way, because I wanted the blue and white. We're doing blue and white Easter theme right now. I wanted, I love it when it's that really big contrast of white and blue. I don't like it if if the bunny's beautiful because it's wood, but obviously it would dull the white part too much. And I wanted that to really pop. So this is why we had to paint him white. And then of course the sides and the back have to match too. And we just glued it on, pressed it down, cut off as much as we could with scissors, and now we're taking the nail file to clean it up. You know the drill. And look at how gorgeous. And I took it outside and sprayed it with some polyacrylic. For this project, you're going to need the round composite pots and the fabric gift bag. Little bunnies there, aren't they cute? Now, I did get my composite pots at Family Dollar, but you can find them at Dollar Tree. Did you guys hear too? Family Dollar got bought out. Dollar Tree doesn't own them anymore. They got sold. Anyway, I'm picking out the best little faces, and here is a brand new pillow from Walmart. Now, the last time I purchased this, it was $3.88. Way cheaper way to buy your polyfiber fill, you guys. Way cheaper, and it already comes in a bag. Right, the pillowcase. So I just cut the pillow open, and we're going to cut those little tags off because see how you can see through the bunny. It's a little too transparent, so you're going to need to cut the tag off. And you just stuff these. Just start stuffing them with the polyfiber fill. Once you get them all stuffed to where you want them to be, these come with these twine ties. You can also use a ribbon if you want. I like the twine, so I'm going to go ahead and use the twine and tie the top off. Now we're going to cut down the center because I just want his little ears to be a little bit more defined. So a little bit too much material. You can see I'm bending it in there. You're going to bend that on either side, like two hems. You can see what I'm doing right there, and glue it together like that. So you form a little ear, and you're going to do that to the other side as well. Now you have two little ears, and they are ready to stuff. And this would be a great craft with kids too. If you want to do this with grandkids or your kids or your neighbor's kids or at a school function, this is super easy and fun. You could also make these into a garland. I was thinking about that. They would look really pretty stuffed and hanging on a garland. That would be nice for Easter. And then I just glued the top off right here on the ears. You just tap it shut. And that's it. You got your little bunny. He's so cute. Now, I decided to go ahead and give him a bow. I did like the twine, but I didn't like the twine tied in a bow. So I ended up taking the bow out, just tying the twine, and then gluing this little gingham print here in pink and white, also from the Dollar Tree. I ended up gluing that on and one of these little cream colored flowers. And that's what they look like when they're both done. Next, we're going to open up those pots and take two out. These are great for crafting because they're cheap. You get a lot, it's a big bang for your money. Now they do tend to be a bit lightweight, so I'll show you what happened here. I stuffed them with the foam, Then I put the reindeer moss on top, and I'm thinking, okay, we're going good. And it ended up not being heavy enough. So we're using the skewers again from Dollar Tree. You're just going to stake these guys. This is why it's a 5-minute craft. It's so fast. You just stuff, tie them shut, skewer them, and then fill these little pots with foam and stick them down. But even though, well, I assumed because it's only polyfiber fill that they were going to be light enough that they wouldn't tip those flower pots. I just didn't feel like they were secure enough, so I ended up taking everything out, gluing some foam down in the center. Then I pushed my bunny in. Then I put the rocks, just some rocks on from Dollar Tree, but you can go outside and use rocks. I mean, anything heavy. You can even put pinto beans in there. It doesn't matter. No one's going to see it. And then you put your reindeer moss on top. I have these 2 carrots here from the Dollar Tree that I painted a lighter orange, and then I changed out the top with some better greenery, so instead of the raffia, but you just glue one on the bottom of the little skewer stick, and that's it. Look at how festive and fun and easy these were to make. They add so much character for Easter on a table, entry table, a shelf sitter. You can put these anywhere in your kitchen. So cute, so easy, so fast to make. Let me know what you think. Grab yourself a funnel from the automotive section at Dollar Tree. You can take it outside to spray paint it. It will make it go even faster. I just painted it with some white chalk paint because we're going to paint it now with pumpkin orange. This is apple barrel paint. It's matte and it gives it something to stick to. The orange won't show up obviously on the black. So it was raining outside. I couldn't spray paint, but to make this even faster, you absolutely could just spray paint this, although it didn't take that long to do it by hand either. And I'm just kind of roughly painting orange on it. It doesn't have to be perfectly covered. I don't want it to. I want it to have some dimension and to have different shades and different hues so it looks a bit more interesting to the eye. And we're going to paint it on the outside and on the inside rim. So to dry this, I have a piece of foam, and this is a skewer from the Dollar Tree. This is how I'll dry anything that needs to stand up. It's just a nice tip if you guys didn't think of this. You can just put a skewer down. My Easter eggs dry like this. I mean, pretty much anything that you need floating in the air, this is a great way to do it. You just save your packing foam, put a stake down. If you can find the bigger stakes, even better from the Dollar Tree, and it holds your stuff up. So I'm going to seal this with hairspray for now because, again, it's raining outside, but I will eventually take this out just to give it a quick mist of, or maybe I'll put Mod Podge on it. I'm not sure. I'll seal it with something, but I'm going to let it dry thoroughly, and it wasn't dry enough yet when I was finished, but I went ahead and misted it with hairspray, which might be enough depending on how many layers you do. And I'm tying a raffia bow on the top there just as a decorative piece. That's all you do. Next, I'm going to take some moss. This is Spanish moss. You could use any color moss you want. You can use the reindeer moss from Dollar Tree, or you could use the Celsior grass. That's really pretty too. And I'm taking some Christmas pine for the top. I'm really loving Christmas pine for the top of my carrots this year. But that's it. Look at how pretty that is. And then we're just going to take this little bunny pick from the Dollar Tree. You can stain it if you want to, but this is a 5-minute craft, so I'm just showing you how to do it super fast. And you push it down there and voila, look at how beautiful. You can leave it laying on a table like this, but you can also use an S-hook because these little funnels have holes on the back, like a little section that you can put an S-hook through and hang it on the wall right here. See? And so this can be a wall hanging piece too. Lots of fun to make. Let me know what you think. For this one, you're going to need this candy jar. And I got the one with the gold lid. They also come with a see-through lid. And I actually saw on Facebook a page called We Craft Around. She did a snowman head with this, and I thought, oh, that's so cute. I'm not making a snowman head, obviously, but I just thought, we got to pick up one of those candy jars and see what we can make with it, Holly. So we're going to do something different. And I'm just taking the stickers off, rubbing it off with a little rubbing alcohol to make sure it's nice and clean because we're going back to the Dollar Tree window clings for this. I'm going to grab that bunny. There's 2 cute bunnies on the window clings. There's a couple of window clings there that are so cute. I definitely want to use them up. So this one had the bunnies and the butterflies. Look at how cute. We're just doing like a little Easter scene in there. Again, 5-minute DIY. Look at how pretty. Now we're going to grab the reindeer moss. You can fill it with whatever you want. You could put white rocks if that's what you want. You could put more stuff in here, but I wanted to go with the reindeer moss. Now we're using the Dollar Tree eggs. These are meant for little ornaments. They come with ribbon, but you can just rip those off. They come off really easy. I just love the prints on them. I think they're so pretty. And I chose the purple one and the yellow one. Next, we're taking this Dollar Tree carrot. I don't care for the raffia on the top of these carrots. I always look to improve upon that. So I just found this extra little piece of floral that was left. I think it's like a fern, and I cut the bottom off, and then I'm going to cut it in a shape that looks more like a Christmas tree, trim up the bottom so that it looks more like a carrot top. But I just think it elevates it a bit better. It looks better. And then I just laid it in there. We're just adding some seasonal decor. And I'm taking little flowers, putting some flowers in there. Next, we're going to use that gingham print, again, that ribbon, just to cover the side here to make it look a little bit more festive for Easter. If it was Christmas, the gold would actually look pretty. You could even get like a gold candle stick as well, and you would have a whole Christmas theme, but we're doing Easter. Here's a little push light again from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and stick that on the bottom of this lid, and then tie a bow on the top to tie it all in. I just grabbed a candlestick holder from the Dollar Tree, and I went to put hot glue on, and I realized the candy dish won't reach the bottom of it, so you don't even need that. You can just sit it on top. You can sit it without a candlestick holder. It looks stunning just flat on the tabletop, but this is so beautiful. I hope the photo does it justice. Lights up, perfect spring or Easter decor. I'm using some Dollar Tree candles for this one and the green vine. All the supplies for this will be listed in a pinned comment at the top of this comment thread, but I'm just going to glue the vine at the bottom of the candle, and I sped this up on purpose so you could see that I am like twisting it flat because it's kind of wound up, because if you just wrap it around and around really fast, all the leaves will bend under each other and just look kind of messy. I definitely wanted it to look like a vine and magical. So here's some fairy transfers I have left over, and these are amazing. I think these would actually go through a dishwasher. They are so sticky and they are on there like cement. But I just stuck them on the front of the candle. I'm making this for my daughter again. I mentioned in my previous video, if you missed it, that my daughter, or actually the video before that my daughter collects fairies. She has been since she was like 13 years old. So I try to make stuff for her every now and again that has fairies on because it's lots of fun. So I just transferred these fairies onto the front of these candles. And then I'm going to take this glitter here. Again, that will be listed in my description box down below. And I put the glue stick for everything, you guys. Glue stick from Dollar Tree, nothing fancy, because this glitter sticks kind of on its own from the static electricity, so you don't actually need a lot to stick it down. If you just shake it on the candles kind of have like a fake waxy coat on them, so stuff kind of sticks to them anyway. But I just added a little bit of glue stick just to get some little sparkle on the top there, because I thought that looked nice and magical. I misted the top with a bit of hairspray just to help the glitter stay on even more, but like I said, this glitter kind of just sticks anyway without the help. But that was it for this one, and I think it came up so cute. I found this cute little sign at Hobby Lobby. It was only 79 cents, so it beats the Dollar Tree. Be sure to check out Hobby Lobby's clearance aisle, you guys. The signs are beating the Dollar Tree now. And there's a free printable again right there, a super cute bunny. For this one, I printed it up on cardstock because I do want it to be really hardy. I'm also going to seal the top of it with Mod Podge and glue it down with Mod Podge for the same reason. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just gluing it down with the Mod Podge, and now I'm going to apply a top layer of Mod Podge. I put 2 coats of Mod Podge on it all together, and when it's dry, I'm taking that furniture pen again and doing a light distressing around the edge. That's it. This is a simple DIY, and I think it came up so cute. The pens are also more like a stain. When you use your finger, and you'll see me do it here in a minute to smear it, it has that sticky feeling, more like a wood stain would, and it gives it a really, really neat look on the edges for distressing, which you don't quite get with paint or with a marker, but I really love the way this came out. And again, let me know what you think. This one's a fun one. So you're going to need a wood round from Walmart. It was $1 when I purchased it, and one of these candlesticks from Dollar Tree. And someone came on and told me the top breaks off after I made a DIY, like a little nest where these eggs were sitting on top of it. So I thought I'd give it a try, and it does break off, so you can use it that way if you want it. It's got a little sharp edge, but you can always put a piece of tape on it. Now, I didn't want this one to be black, so I'm painting it white, and I don't know if you saw that I actually straightened it out. They're pretty bendable and flexible. They break really easy, but they're perfect little stands too. So we're giving everything a coat of white chalk paint. Now I lost the footage for this part. All I did was take the window cling that you saw on the sheet from Dollar Tree that I said I wanted to use up. I used a glue stick and I just glued it down. That was it. And then on the back to finish it off, I traced some poster board and I covered it, just cut it to kind of secure it, to make sure it looks a little nicer and it kind of secures it a bit better. But that's it, and it was so simple to make. Look at what a pretty accent piece this is for an Easter or spring vignette that you put together. It just adds to it, and you could add something else to this if you wanted to. I thought less is more with this one for sure. It just looks pretty on a stand to me. For this DIY, I took a Dollar Tree jar, they come with a lid, and I made this free printable. I thought it was really, really cute. And this is another free printable, the roses, that you can use along with this. You can skip that one if you want, but I just wanted to decorate the lid. And I discovered that the masking tape roll at the Dollar Tree is the perfect shape to use to trace the circle for this lid. I don't know if that's helpful. I hope it is. And I'm going to use the Elmer's glue stick to glue this down. I pretty much use a glue stick for everything, and I have done it before on shiny surfaces, and I've been really, really pleased. Again, not super critical what you use to glue it down as long as it's a decent adhesive, but it is critical if it's going to be handled a lot and get wear and tear, you're going to be touching it, that you use a good sealant, whether that's a spray or whether that's Mod Podge. In this case, I went ahead and I used Mod Podge. Now, you'll see that I do put the Mod Podge a little bit over the edge of the label, and then I take a baby wipe and wipe around as straight as I can, just so there's like a little sliver of Mod Podge hanging over the paper on every single edge to seal it in, because I'm going to be touching it a little bit and I might pick it up and I don't want it to come off. But I'm not a big fan of covering the entire glass with Mod Podge for the reason that I showed you in the previous clip. It just, for me, it looks streaky and it peels off. It just gets to be too much. You could also definitely spray a varnish on this. That would work too. And I have to be honest, there has been quick crafts that I've done that have just been meant like just to stay up for a season, and I didn't seal. It was on glass or something shiny, and I did seal it with Mod Podge and it still stayed on. So here you can see it with the lid. It's a beautiful decorative jar, and then here it is as a vase. I had so much fun making these DIYs, and I hope you had fun watching them too. If you did, don't forget to leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, share my video. It really does help me here on YouTube. And as always, until the next video, breathe deep, fret not, and do things that make you happy. These are some mini wall plaques from Dollar Tree, and I think they make excellent coasters. And ignore my fingers, please, you guys. I actually wipe my fingers off with baby wipes in between filming, and it leaves white paint still in my fingerprints. Unless I wash with soap and water, that's what happens. So sorry about that. But anyway, I got these beautiful butterfly cutouts from Dollar Tree, and I just added some Mod Podge to them, glued them on. I mean, pink, gray, and black always look so beautiful together, but look how you can make these plain wall plaques. I mean, I'm not going to use I would never buy those and hang those on my wall. They're too small, but they make excellent spring coasters. And look how we turn them into Easter, spring. Totally changed the vibe, the season, everything. Look at how beautiful that is. So super, super great idea, and a craft you can actually use. a cheap candle from the Dollar Tree, a cute festive label, and some Mod Podge is all you need to have a super cute decorative tiered tray decor piece. I'm just using the tissue paper again, Mod Podging it down. You could even use dishwasher Mod Podge if you want this to be a little more durable. And I'm using some of the Dollar Tree lace on the top. I have seen things like this sell in boutiques at resort areas for $5 to $7, and for about $1.50 you have a super cute accent piece for your tiered tray. For this next project, you're going to need one of these silver trays from Dollar Tree, and I just took mine out and I spray painted it with some of this Rust-Oleum forged hammer in antique pewter, and this is what it looks like when we're done. I found this placemat at Dollar Tree in their spring items, and it looked so pretty to me. It's silver. I kind of wish they had made it white, but it's still pretty, it's going to go with this. It matches perfect because it looks metallic. And I just flipped the tray over and I cut the shape out at the bottom. And I did tack the placemat down a little bit using hot glue so it wouldn't wiggle too much, but I purposely cut it bigger so I could make adjustments. Like right here, I'm making the adjustments so we can get it nice and as straight as I can in there. We're just going to trim it up. Now I'm going to take some Mod Podge and I'm going to be very generous with it. I kind of drop on the side, I take that off. But I'm going to be very generous with it and put a thick amount because we are going to be using this Mod Podge to glue the placemat down, and because it's a very thick rubbery vinyl placemat, and you're going to need quite a bit of glue to hold it down. But that's it. We're all done. Super simple, and it really elevated this tray and made it a nice tray to display some of your Easter decor on. For this one, I grabbed some of the Dollar Tree wooden eggs, and you can see the eggs and bunnies are two different colors. So if you want to make this craft really fast, you could just glue the bunnies straight down on the eggs and seal it up with some kind of sealant and you'd be done. I want to paint mine, so I'm taking some spackling, filling in the top holes, and painting my eggs white. And then I'm going to use Cameo Pink, Key West, and Lavender Sachet. They're all matte paints. They're not shiny, they're matte, by Apple Barrel. And I'm going to paint each one of these bunnies. Now I love these little cottontails, so I don't want to give those up. So I just tore them off at the back and I'm going to glue them onto the side that I painted. Next, I'm just using my glue gun and we're going to glue the bunnies onto the front of the eggs. Next, I bought these round composite pots for $1.25 for another DIY, and I'm going to use them again today, but you could use styrofoam cups or you could use Dollar Tree little planters, whatever you want. And I'm gluing some styrofoam down. I'm taking the skewer sticks from Dollar Tree. I'm going to glue those onto the back of the eggs and use that to hold these up. And then I'm going to stake them down into the foam. And to give these guys weight this time, I'm taking some of the Dollar Tree gems and I'm just adding those, and I'm going to add some of the green reindeer moss on top. And I glued these flowers on. Now this one I want your opinion on, you guys, because I did end up taking them off. I wasn't sure they looked good after I did it, so let me know what you think. But I added some twine bows at the bottom to kind of cover the stakes. These are a little lower to the moss this time, and we're all done. And I think these came up so festive and so cute. They're so fast to make, especially if you don't paint the bunnies. These could easily fall into a 5-minute craft. Let me know which one was your favorite in today's video, and if you enjoyed the video and had fun today, give it a thumbs up. And of course, here's another one I think you'll enjoy watching next.